Easy question. How'd it go?
It went so fast. But I thought it was a good discussion. These things do go fast, and I like to think about these things in all their complexity, and that's hard to boil down sometimes. And I'm not saying that that's a strength necessarily that I want to go a little long on these things, but I think that a lot of these issues, I mean, certainly if you're talking about the Sunnis and Shias and what's going on now in Syria and what's going on in that region, you can have it's complex.
On the news today, McFadden's going to file a complaint, he said, tomorrow with the FEC about an ad. What's your response to the improper coordination with the
Yeah, we did not coordinate with them, follow the law. The images that they use are in the public domain. You remember when McConnell did those things where he smiles, and that's the kind of thing, those images are public domain, anyone can use them.
What are you going to do tomorrow?
I don't confuse me with someone who knows the schedule.
Sounded tonight like you guys agreed on quite a few issues.
We did. I was very surprised on net neutrality. I didn't quite understand why if he agrees with me, why he has taken sort of the dismissive view of it.
You looked a little incredulous. Do you think he understands the issue?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, because it sounded kind of confused because he said we need more federal regulation or less federal regulation or something. That issue is about what the FCC, whether it will consider the internet a common carrier. There are certain things that the circuit court has ruled in overturning net neutrality before that they say how the FCC can use its power to establish net neutrality, and I'm not quite sure that he understands that.
When you say he's dismissive, though, what do you mean?
Well, he's been saying that no one cares about this, and I don't know why Franken is bothering to discuss it. And to me, we live in an information economy. About 21% of new growth in maturing economies. There was a study by McKinsey in the last 5 years. This is the most recent that they did. 21% of new GDP was the internet. And so, and in that report, McKinsey talked about the importance of policy makers, of government, of businesses addressing the infrastructure, the ecosystem of the internet. And this is obviously a very, very key, the key issue to me on the internet is net neutrality. And it's not just our economy, but freedom of speech. It has a lot of significance for both of those issues, our economy and innovation. The innovation that's taken place on the internet has happened not just while the internet was while net neutrality was in place, but because of it.
Okay, one more. You mentioned almost a dozen Republican senators tonight. Is this an effort to distance from that 97% that has just been hammered in the airwaves?
It's just to talk about the kind of work I've done. I mean, there's some I didn't mention. Johnny Isaacson and I did that service dog bill very early on. I don't think I mentioned Johnny. Johnny's a very good friend of mine. There are lots of issues that you talk about and legislate about that really don't have a partisan aspect to them. Filling the skills gap. Let's talk about workforce training. I would go on the floor and go do you have a skills gap in your state? And no matter who I went to, if it was Crapo from Idaho, if it was Bozeman from Arkansas, if it was Lamar from Tennessee, yes, are your community and technical colleges partnering with businesses to fill these gaps? Yes. Have you gone to them and talked to them and seen that they could use a little, do this bigger, better, and faster if the ones that are successful had more funding? Yes. Why don't we get it into the workforce bill? There is a Republican from North Carolina, a House member, who is Virginia Fox, who is really, really, really conservative. She happened to be the president of, before she was in Congress, the president of a community and technical college. So she was all aboard this. And so this is, I work on a bipartisan basis, like on an ag bill, on renewable fuel standards. This is an issue where I've been fighting with the administration, and where people like Mike Johans of Nebraska, Chuck Grassley of Iowa, John Hoeven, Thune, all of these Republicans agree with me, and I've been fighting with the administration on this.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks, everybody.